video. There is a lot of information, specific information. So I actually put together a little package, a little document thing for you guys. I'm going to drop it in the group after the video that basically outlines everything that I'm saying in this video, just so you have like an actual hard copy of like the schedule breakdown options and stuff, because it's a lot to remember. And if you're watching this on the replay or you want to take notes, absolutely go for it. But I did put together a little booklet for you guys that has all of this information as well. All right, I'm gonna take a little drink and then we will get started. If you guys are catching the replay, make sure you drop a comment and let us know. Okay, so we're gonna get into it, and the information in this video is specifically for those people who are struggling with maintaining progress or maintaining momentum due to shift work, or for those of you who may encounter a struggle due to shift work. So if right now you work shift work and what you are doing is working for you, keep doing it. Like, if it's not broken, don't change it. Don't think that everything that I say in this video that you have to apply to your life or that you should. A lot of you guys do work shift work and you do everything as you should. And you probably do struggle, because we all struggle, but if you're nailing your program despite working shift work, keep doing that. This video is basically going to give you some strategies to apply if you're struggling. So again, it's going to be strategies broken down based on some popular shifts in Fort Mac, or shifts in general. I know like there's a lot of nurses in the group, and nurses have like these crazy schedules. It's like 15 nights in a row, 1 day off, 1 day on, 5 days off, 8 nights, 2 days. And I'm like, how is this even a shift? So again, if these strategies sound like something that you want to implement, definitely like talk to your coach. Don't just be like, oh, screw my program, I'm going to do this. Talk to your coach and we'll see what works, what maybe doesn't work, and what needs to change for you specifically. Again, we are here to serve you and to help challenge you and to help push you. But it's really important that you guys learn and embrace these tools so that you have them and you can implement them into your life as needed. So first we're going to touch on workouts specifically, then we're going to talk about nutrition, and then we're going to talk about some other little extra tips. So, when it comes to working out, and what I'm going to talk about right now is specifically, I think it's the Suncor shift. So it's like 3 days, 3 nights, 6 off. If you guys work shift work in general, drop it in the comments. Say like, I work shift work. If this is your shift, let me know. So 3 days, 3 nights, 6 off. So for the sake of the video, we're going to say you work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for 3 days. Then you'll have your short change. Then you'll work from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. for 3 days. And then you'll have your 6 days off. So when it comes to working out, when it comes to training, day 1, so your first day shift of work, you need to get your workout in, okay? This is when you're going to be the freshest. You've just had 6 days off. This is when you're going to have the most energy, and day 1 is what is going to set the tone for the rest of your shift, okay? It's really important how you start that shift. So day 1, get your workout in. It doesn't matter if you do it before your shift or it doesn't matter if you do it after your shift. It's really what feels better for you. If you're someone who struggles to work out after working 12 plus hours, I recommend getting it in the morning on your first shift, okay? Day 2, just rest. Like when you're working shift work, that is a lot of stress on your body, not to mention all of the other stress factors, good stresses and bad stresses that are happening to you. So day 2, take the pressure off and just rest, recover, go to bed, get some sleep. If you need to meditate, do some yoga, something like that, totally fine. But don't stress about getting your workout in for day 2, because if you train on day 1, you're going to be a little tired. You're just getting back in the swing of things. If you push your body again on day 2 and you happen to push a little too hard, you're going to be fucked for days 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So day 2, just rest. Day 3, do a workout. If it needs to be a condensed workout, if it needs to be a 15-minute emergency workout, doesn't matter. Get your workout in on day 3. You just had a rest day. You should have used it to recover. If you didn't use it to recover, then you need to suck it up and get your workout in on day 3. You can condense a workout if needed. So ideally you want to get your whole workout in, but there's nothing wrong with cutting out a couple sets. Is it ideal? No, but it's better than not doing anything, right? If you have 4 sets, do 3 and do them really freaking good, right? So you can condense your workout if needed. It's better than falling off track. It's better than having that all or nothing mentality. Day 3, get your workout in, condense it if you need to, use your emergency one if you need to. Now you're at your short change. So this is when you kind of have the day off, you're getting ready to go to work at night. Short change, get your workout in. You have the whole day to rest. So again, get that workout in. Day 1 workout, day 2 rest, day 3 a quick workout, and then on your short change, you should have time to get a workout in, okay? Your first night shift, rest, recover. You just worked out on your short change, so use this time again to recover. If you need to meditate, if you need to do yoga, use that time to rest your body. Like, muscle growth actually happens outside of the gym. When you're in the gym, when you're working out and you're getting that pump on and you're burning your muscles and you're feeling those tears happening, you're not actually growing your muscles. Your muscles grow after the workout during the recovery, okay? So night 1, just rest. Again, night 2, ideally after you wake up that afternoon, that's when you're gonna want to get your workout in. That night 2 workout, again, if you need to condense it, that's totally okay, because those middle workouts, night 2, day 2, those are going to be the most challenging times mentally and physically. So the fact that you're showing up is already a win. If you need to condense it or use that emergency workout, that is totally fine. You want to keep the momentum going, because once you break momentum, it's hard to get that train going again. The train can keep going, but once the train stops, getting it going again is really hard. So night 2, workout. And if you can't work out for some crazy reason, be active. Go for a walk, go for a bike ride, go outside, do something active. Night 3, rest, recover. You're almost on your days off. After that shift, you're hitting your days off. You have 6 days off. Day 1, get your workout in. Again, first day sets the tone for the rest of that shift of days off. Then you're going to transition into your normal training schedule, okay? So that's ideally how you are going to structure your schedule if you work 3 days, 3 nights, 6 off, okay? Now, we're going to talk about 7 days on, 7 days off. So I know there's quite a few of you here who just work like day shifts and you'll do 7 on, 7 off, 7 on, 7 off. There's also some of you here who work like 7 days on, 7 days off, 7 nights on, 7 days off, okay? So we're going to talk about 7 days on, 7 days off, and then we're going to talk about 7 nights on, 7 nights off. So you can apply both of those no matter what of those shifts you work. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me take a little drink. Is this making sense so far? Let me know in the comments. Again, I have a document that summarizes all of this so you guys don't have to remember it word for word. All right. 7 days on. Day 1, again, get your workout in. It sets the tone for the rest of the week. If you're an evening person, there's no issue with working out after your shift. However, if you prefer to get it in the morning before you've worked like 12 hours, do that. There is really no better or worse way. It really is just what feels best for you and what works best for your life. One tip, so if you are someone who works out after your shift, your 12-hour shift, 2 little things that can help you, because trust me, I know, like, I used to work shift work. I didn't work it nearly as much as most of you guys did. To be honest, I only did it for like 2 years. And it can be like, if you go home after your shift and you sit down on the couch, the chance of you getting up is very, very slim. And if you do, I highly commend you. So, put your workout clothes on while you are still on site or while you are still at work if you can. Try to do that, because then you're already in your workout outfit when you get home. And it's actually pretty challenging to not work out if you're already dressed for it, okay? If that is not feasible for you, pack your pre-workout with you and take it before you get home. Because again, once you've taken pre-workout, you're pretty amped up, especially if you take the tingly kind, And you can't really not work out if you've taken pre-workout. So doing both or one of those options will kind of eliminate that whole situation where you come home, you're tired, you sit down on the couch, and then you say, screw it. Because that happens often, unfortunately, and it's hard to have the mental strength to get up off the couch. So when you are working your 7 days on, I would aim to work out on day 1 and day 2. Okay? Then I would take day 3 and day 4 off, and I would go to bed. Prioritize rest, prioritize recovery. Then I would train on day 5 because you just had 2 full days off, and day 5 is the workout that I would consider condensing. So I would either do the emergency 15-minute one, or I would condense my workout if needed. I'd cut out a couple extra sets so that I can make sure I get it in and I do it to the best of my ability without burning myself out or getting too exhausted, okay? That 5th day is going to be the most challenging mentally and physically because you're kind of not quite to the end of your shift, you're already tired. So that's why it's really important that you build that integrity with yourself and you show up on day 5, even if it's half of your workout, okay? Day 6, I would take off, and then day 7, I would train, because day 7, your shift is over. You don't have to worry about saving your energy or getting up for work tomorrow. You can just focus on the here and the now, and yes, you're probably going to be tired, but you can push through a workout. Be intentional. Again, if you need to condense it, you can, but day 7, you should be able to get through your full workout. Day 1, I would sleep in, take some rest, and aim to work out that day as well, then transition into your normal training schedule, okay? Hopefully that's making sense. Now, let's talk about 7 nights on, 7 nights off. So this is going to be pretty similar to how we broke it up with 7 days. Okay, so night 1, get your workout in before you go to work that night. Work your shift. Upon waking up that afternoon, work out again. Okay, so workout, work, sleep, workout. There's your first 2. Then nights 3 and 4, take those days and nights off, go to sleep, eat your food, rest, and chill. Okay? Again, night 5, you just had 2 full days of rest and recovery. Condense your workout, but hold that integrity with yourself to get your workout in. Take night 6 off. On night 7, you're going to want to train because you don't need to save that energy for work anymore. The next day, day 1, sleep in and aim to train because we want to always set the tone. We want to get that train rolling. We want to get back into momentum. Day 1, we want to aim to get that workout in on your first day off again. Now, sometimes you guys are working crazy shutdowns and whatnot. You're going to be working more than 7 shifts on, okay? So when you are working more than 7 night shifts or even more than 7 shifts, crazy fucking shift. I actually did that shift and I wanted to die. I also hated my job. But anyways, what you want to do if you have 7+ night shifts, or if you have a crazy shift like 14 days on or 6 and 1 type thing. Sorry, I think my video froze for a second there. My Wi-Fi has been like going up and down all day. So, anyways, what I was saying was if you have more than 7 night shifts or more than 7 shifts, or if you work like a crazy 6 and 1 shift, what you want to do is start with 2 workouts in a row. So on days 1 and days 2, or night 1 and night 2, workout. Then transition into 2 rest days followed by 1 training day. Okay? So what this is going to do by doing 2 off, 1 on of training is it's going to help you optimally balance your hormones. It's going to help you manage your sleep while still keeping you in momentum and making progress. If you take more than 2 days off when you're working 15 hours, it's going to be really hard to get that momentum going again. So 2 days off, 1 day on, and maintain that throughout your shift. Having that all or nothing mentality when you work shift work is really, really easy to do, especially on night shifts. The reality is Night shifts are not ideal for our bodies, especially when we're switching from days to nights and back and forth. It messes up a lot of stuff. The reality is we can't always control everything in our life. There's always going to be suboptimal circumstances happening. So we need to figure out the best way to control the things that we can control so that we can stay in momentum and continue pushing towards our goals. It's not optimal for, like, working shift work probably isn't optimal for progress. Having a stay-at-home job where you work 3 hours a day and have the rest of the day to do whatever you want would be optimal, but I don't think many of us have that. So, burning yourself out by trying to train every day when you work crazy shifts, it's not gonna help you. But also throwing in the towel and just saying fuck it when you work crazy shifts is equally not going to help you. Now, let's talk about nutrition. With nutrition, there's kind of two approaches when it comes to shift work, and we're talking specifically right now about night shift, okay? So, scientifically, these are the two best ways to do this. However, sometimes the science doesn't necessarily mean it's what's best for you, okay? If what you're doing right now works, keep doing it. If what you're doing right now doesn't work or doesn't feel good or doesn't help you stay in alignment, change it. Try one of these strategies and give it a fair shot before you decide it doesn't work, because it does take time for your body to adapt. So, like, for example, I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but my client Nikita right now, she's posted in the group, so, like, she was struggling with appetite and she doesn't want to eat a lot. And the reality is, like, when you're trying to lose fat, you don't really want to force feed yourself, but sometimes you have to make yourself eat. And until you do for a certain amount of days and weeks, like, your body is not going to get that hunger. So sometimes it doesn't, like, you have to eat whether you're hungry or not. You don't want to eat and make yourself sick, but sometimes set a fucking timer and just eat the food. Okay, so if you work less than 6 to 7 night shifts in a row, there isn't really a magic number. So again, you have to figure out what works for your life. Ideally, like 6 to 7 or less, you can apply this strategy. If you're working 6 to 7 nights or less, you want to maintain your eating window. So basically what that means is if on your days off, you eat from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you're going to want to aim to relatively keep those hours the same. And then not eat during the hours where you would typically be sleeping. Okay, so it's going to keep your circadian rhythm in harmony. It's going to optimize your digestion, your hormones, your nervous system, and all of those things being aligned is going to also increase your ability to lose weight and your ability to build muscle. Okay, so for example, let's say you work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and you plan on eating 5 meals. Okay, so you're going to eat at 9 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and then from about 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., you're going to stop eating because you would typically be sleeping during those hours. Then around 5 a.m., you're going to eat again. 8 a.m., you're going to eat again. And then you're going to aim to sleep from at least 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. If you can sleep more, that's perfect. Depending on how you feel, you can have a snack before you train. Some people don't like to eat right before they train. Like, I don't like to do that. So then you're going to do your workout, and then you're going to eat again after your workout before you go back to work, okay? Now, if you were doing something like 4 meals instead of 5, you would eat around 9 p.m., 11:30 p.m., stop eating from around 12 till 5 a.m., eat again around 6 a.m., sleep 9 to 3 or more, snack if you need it, workout, eat again before you go back to work that night, okay? Now, here's the second approach. This is if you work 6 to 7 nights or more, okay? So if you're working 6 to 7 nights or more, you're gonna wanna flip your eating window, which means whatever time you're normally eating in the day is gonna be the time you stop eating, and whatever time you're normally sleeping is gonna be when you are eating, okay? So if you work 7 p.m. till 7 a.m., you would eat 9 p.m., 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m., and then you would sleep again from around 9 a.m. till 3, quick snack if needed, work out, and then eat again before you go back to work. Okay, so we're completely flipping that eating window. If you were doing 4 meals, it would look like 9 p.m., 1:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m., sleep from 9 till 3 or more, quick snack if needed, train, and then eat again at 6 p.m. Okay? So those are kind of the 2 best strategies when it comes to optimizing the systems of your body during night shifts. It doesn't mean that you have to stick to those 100%, but if you're not doing that and what you're doing now doesn't work, I recommend trying that. Again, I'm going to provide you guys with a document that outlines all of that because I know that was a lot of words. So now I'm just going to tell you guys a couple little tips. So if you take the bus to work or if you drive with people and you don't have to drive, I highly recommend listening to a guided meditation because I do know, like when I used to have to wake up at 3:50 a.m. and take a bus to site, realistically, unfortunately, there was no fucking way I was doing a morning routine before I got on that bus. Like, it just wasn't happening because I didn't go to bed till 1 a.m. I woke up at 3:50 a.m. I wasn't even alert. I had to like pack my shit and get out the door. So like, it wasn't happening. But what I would do when I get on the bus was I would listen to actually a hypnosis track that talked about visualizing your goals, visualizing your body, feeling the way that you want to feel. And it was actually during that time that I was like in the best shape ever. And I actually hit the goal weight. I know it's not all about the scale, but in the guided meditation I would listen to, it would talk about the number on the scale. And I actually hit the number on the scale that I was visualizing. And it was honestly a pretty unrealistically low number. And I actually hit it. So visualization, it does work. It is really powerful. And I recommend using that strategy if you take a bus or carpool with someone. The next thing is seriously, you have to plan your meals ahead because when you're working shift work, sometimes your brain isn't working properly. You might forget your food. You might not know what you're eating. So you have to plan your food. You have to know what you're eating. You have to meal prep. If you do not have time to meal prep, I highly recommend ordering prepped meals. I don't recommend ordering prepped meals for every meal per day because A, it does get expensive, and B, it gets repetitive and like they're not always exact with what you need for your macros. So I used to do Bite Me meals and I like them mainly because they're vacuum sealed. So if you do work on site and you're worried about the freshness of your food, they honestly stay really, really fresh. And you can use this tip whether you do shift work or not, but I would aim to order like 1 prepped meal per day, and I would order it for the meal that you struggle the most to make yourself. So that way, like, instead of ordering all your food, like those, you're going to go through those meals really fast if you're eating 3 to 4 prepped meals per day, and 3 to 4 prepped meals per day is going to be significantly costly as opposed to ordering 10 meals and spacing them out 1 per day for 10 days. Does that make sense? Now, here's another thing that I hear a lot with my clients who work night shift, and it's like, I just can't eat. I'm just not hungry. I literally have no appetite. Okay? That's normal. Typically, it will go one way or the other on nights, and you'll either be starving or you'll have 0 appetite. If you feel not hungry, eat higher volume. Okay? So again, what that means is instead of eating chicken breast and avocado and spaghetti squash, you could have a piece of steak and some rice. Because steak has a lot of protein, it has a lot of fat, rice has a lot of carbs, as opposed to something like spaghetti squash that's basically water, where you can eat like 800 grams of it. So saying that you can't eat, how bad do you want results? If you don't want them that bad, sure, stop eating. If you actually want to change, you actually want to live a healthy life, you actually want to see your physique change, eat higher volume food so you don't have to eat as much of it, okay? Another thing, so if you are someone who significantly struggles with their appetite and you're still eating higher volume food, or you're eating like, I think I said higher volume, I actually meant lower volume. So you're eating foods that you don't have to eat as much of, right? And you're still struggling. If you're going to be low on your macros or your calories in general, don't just be low on one of them. So don't be like, oh, I'm just not going to eat my protein today because I'm just not hungry, but I'll eat all my carbs and all my fats. Okay. So if you're 20% under on your protein, be 20% under on like your carbs and your fats as well. Again, 20% under on fats is going to be different because there's actually double the calories plus 1. So it wouldn't necessarily be an equal percentage, but the main message that I'm trying to convey with that is like, don't just not eat fats because you're not hungry. And don't just only eat carbs, right? We want like make it equivalent across the board. And again, that would be suboptimal, but if that situation occurs where you literally feel like you can't eat. Okay, my other tip is if you are feeling like super overwhelmed with your training and you've missed several workouts and you didn't stick to that structure that I just provided, and because you were just too tired and you needed more sleep and you missed like 4 workouts, combine your workouts. Like, I don't mean double them up, but if you think about it, like if you do an arm day and then you, or like, let's say you do shoulders and biceps and then you miss like 4 workouts and then you do like back and triceps, you haven't trained your lower body in like 10 days by the time you get around to your lower body day, right? So if you miss a significant amount of workouts, just take half of your upper body workout, half of your lower body workout and slam them together, because then you're actually going to train your full body. Is that optimal? No, but it's better than waiting 10 days to hit your leg day again. Again, like for natural lifters, like volume and frequency really matters, because if you're not training your legs for 10 days, your legs are not going to get that stimulus. If you're not training your upper body for 10 days, your upper body's not going to get that stimulus. So, doing a full body workout when you work shift work is not a bad idea at all. If you don't work shift work, I personally don't recommend doing a full body workout every day unless there's a specific reason why you would do that. Because you may not put enough stress on those muscles to grow them. However, there's variables there. There's nothing wrong with full body workouts. There's nothing wrong with splits. But when you're working like shift work, doing full body workouts is definitely not a bad idea. Okay, that's everything.